to step out of their comfort zone, like we were talking about, and improve themselves. So, and the way this person was talking too, just the other day, they were like, yeah, they were more so worried that we're gonna back out on them. You know, they're like, I've done a lot of work with inexperienced and immature game devs before who make me do all this work and then they just give up on the project and my time was wasted. Like, oh well, don't worry about that because everyone I'm looking for wants to expand, build upon their portfolio. So we all have a common goal to see something through,
Yeah. That's good. What was it? This is that same horror guy, right? The horror guy?
Yep, Marvin.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. I think that, okay, well, I wouldn't know, but at the very least, he has had a bad experience already. Therefore, we can it gives us a chance to look better than I initially thought that he may look at us.
Right. Yeah. No. Right. So right away, I think we're standing in good light with Marvin right now. So hopefully, as long as we just get something completed. I mean, like I was telling you, that one little game that person sent me was like the shortest, smallest game ever. It was like 4 different levels of fighting, and then it was completed with whoever won the most rounds in those sequences won the game.
Right.
Super simple, super easy.
Yep. That's good. He knows his limits, kind of thing.
Yeah, right. I mean, I don't want to have our scope so big that we're not making like some AAA game or anything.
Yeah. But yeah. In terms of what I've done, so the last 2 days, I've been cooking. I've been cooking something.
Okay.
But it's like I'll show it to you. And the reason that I was able to do this at all was because another person was just started learning this new thing and he got tips from someone else, and so I asked him, oh, how do you do this, how do you do that, like I kind of you got me interested, I want to try too. And so he helped me out, taught me a few things here and there, and then when I got into it, I was just rolling. Like I just kept going. I just kept on getting, I was understanding what I was doing, and it felt like I had so much power. But in any case, so let's see here. I'm gonna go to my. Oh wait, no, I don't have to open it like this. I can actually just go to the folders. Hey, there you go. Yeah. Let's see, and then show you these ones. So I'm just gonna show you legs because that's what it'll tell you enough story. Yeah, it'll give you enough of the story. In any case, yeah. So there you go.
So
I've been doing
3D
modeling. Yes, 3D sculpting. That's awesome. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah. I've been doing 3D sculpting. Okay, and then so this is when I first started. When I on the first day, and I just made it out of on whim, and then this is the second day, improving it. And by the way, these sessions lasted about at least 4 hours time. Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, and then this is after everything.
Oh wow. Yeah, much more defined, and yeah. Very good work, man.
Yeah, shape. The shape is better, smoother, right?
Smoother. I mean, I can see more definition even in the feet itself.
That's true. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't make individual toes. For one reason is because there's this thing I forgot what it was called actually, but it's basically some kind of rendering thing anyway, and I need to use it every time I make a new body part, and so like
Oh,
when I do it, it's going to merge anything that's too close together. So toes, they'd be too close together, right?
yeah.
And so they would end up getting merged as a result of doing this rendering thingy.
Ah,
Yeah, and I don't want to go through that trouble even so like even though I haven't learned to do it yet, I know that I'm gonna have to go through that trouble if I did learn it. So I gotta like have everything basically like the arms and hands and blah blah and hair and whatever anything I
mm-hmm.
want to get done first, and then I'll like make those individual part, or I would learn to make those in parts that are too close together. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. Oh, I guess another thing I could show is the arms. Okay.
Okay, for sure.
Or just one arm is just enough. Cause like, uh, if you notice, like they are um, mirrored. So
Yeah. Yep.
yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
I used mirroring technique or whatever.
Gotcha.
And that like makes the process so much better.
Does it?
Oh yeah, like as a beginner, you want to be able to see and analyze everything to the best of your ability, and making it mirrored means that like yeah, you only have to worry about doing one side, and like as you're working, like doing the mirroring thing will work on both sides at once, and then I get to like just keep spinning around the model to like compare here and there and everything, and like it really helps with depth too. In any case, let's see here. Need to move this. Yeah, I go like, can I? Okay, well, whoops. Whoops, again. Made a mistake. Anyway. Wow. Well, that's a little harder than I thought. I want to get a certain angle of it, but I don't know how to angle in this case. I'd have to, this is the first time I've ever had to do some kind of angling thing, basically.
Mm-hmm.
It. Simply because I'll say right now it's NSFW, so.
Mm.
Oh well. I'll just get as much as I can. And then I will move this the other way. Oh yeah, like the reason I'm so careful is because I don't really know your tolerance level with NSFW. And
Oh.
a lot of people can like end up out of their own control or whatever.
Mm.
So yeah, that's why I'm being careful.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah, that's the hand. And as you can
Okay.
see, uh,
Yeah.
there's no like slit for the fingers, right? But I can at
Right.
least separate the thumb. right? Because that's
Oh
far
yeah,
away
okay.
enough from the rest of it
Yeah,
that
yeah, I
I don't
see
have to
that now.
worry
Nice.
about the rendering technology making them uh, get merge. Yeah.
Right. Very interesting.
Hmm. Yeah. So like that's
Neat.
my little journey on 3D art, and I do want to work more on it. It was a lot of time spent, but I do like it, and I mean, I'd love to get into like the rest of it, but there's just so much to learn at the end of the day.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
What program are you using?
Blender.
You were using Blender?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I want to start learning how to use Blender too.
Uh,
So I might have to start looking into that myself. Did you just did you join a Discord community for it, or are you just going through artist friends you've met?
yeah, basically it was artist friends that I met. Yeah, exactly.
Nice, nice.
Yeah. Like he was just doing it in the art server, and not many people, do that kind of thing. But, the ones that do the 3D art, they work so fast that you can't absorb anything out of it.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sure.
Yeah, so that's why it's best to just go through YouTube if anything.
Gotcha.
Yeah. You know what? I was given a list of Blender tutorials to learn when I asked for it from those 3D artist friends.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, so let's actually go through them.
Yeah, I'm
Playlist.
down.
Oh wait, I don't want to leave this video. Okay, I'll leave this video. This one's fine to leave. Uh, so playlist, and then I had one specifically for mountain training. Yeah, so there was this point in my life about like I believe it was last year anyway, and I believe it was in the summer. But in any case, I did a mountain training in quotes. So this mountain training was basically I'd turn off my internet for about a month, at least to the best of my ability, and
Mm-hmm.
and I would like try to train myself without internet, and it went really well. My productivity like skyrocketed, but at the same
Really?
time, I still needed like things to learn and whatnot. But yeah, uh, I would be willing to do it again for sure though.
Yeah,
But
no, that sounds like a really interesting process.
yeah, yeah. Uh, and why it works is because I have no distractions. I can't use the internet. I can't distract myself. I can't go on Twitter. I can't go on YouTube. And like every time I went on, it'd be like there's no internet connection. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot. Okay, what do I do at this time? Well, why I was productive was because I did plan it out, and therefore I was really productive for like the first week, maybe even 2 weeks. But after that, I dwindled because I didn't know what else to do properly. Like
Right.
I didn't like have a good idea of what to do next, and then I ended up like uh, finding myself excusing myself to go back. It's like, oh, I need to like watch tutorials on YouTube and stuff. So I need the internet. I need the internet. I was like, and then it just like I just ended up going back to my old self in that regard. But at the very least, I did like gain some new experience and did improve a little bit out of that. So that was good. Any improvement
Yeah,
is good improvement, right?
exactly. Exactly.
But yeah, so let's see here. I'll start streaming just to give you a glimpse of what what we would be looking at, I guess.
Okay.
So here's the wow, it's unlisted. Would that mean that there's a new one then? Is that what's going on? Let's okay, Blender Fast Track. Oh, there you go.
Hey.
4.1.
Oh,
That's the newest one, by the way. So that's why
nice.
this was unlisted. So I should get this one instead. 40 minutes. Oh, wait, this is like the same thing too. Oh my God. It's like the same length, 39.27 and
Oh,
then
sure.
39.59. So I'm going to save that to playlist and in the mountain training videos.
Nice.
uh, So yeah, as you can see, I had a list of things that I could have been doing during the mountain training arc of mine, but never got
Mm.
to.
Ah,
Yeah. So let's see here. I believe that since that's 4.1, it should be good. Let's see, my Blender 2D, 3D process with grease pencil, 10 tools every Blender noob should learn, free building generator in Blender, Buildify. So you
mm.
see like building generator, stuff like that, right? It's like, wow,
Yeah.
you don't have to make your own building.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow, that's really loud. Yeah. This is something that you can get from someone who is looking for shortcuts all the time and whatnot. And
Mm.
uh, and a lot of people do not look for shortcuts.
Really
So yeah, they'll always go through like the hardest route. But you know,
interesting.
that's fair to say though. I mean, everybody's like it just means that they're honest and they're trying to do the best that they can with what they know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So that's usually how it goes. But yeah. Yeah, some artists, some 3D artists that I know, they look for shortcuts, and usually it's because they live in a poor country, and so they have
Oh,
to like do what they can with what they got. They don't have
yeah.
honest means like going to school for this to like to find these kinds of things. And
Right, right.
the funny thing is that that's the same with me and saying that I could be a therapist. Like
Mhm.
uh, this Mexican who's like really good at doing 3D art and is better at doing it than most other 3D artists because he did this, he did that, he looked for shortcuts, he looked for stuff like this, free building generator or whatever, right?
Yeah,
And because he went through all that trouble and put in the work to learn 3D art by himself, he then became even better than most 3D artists that are like around his level or like where he's at, I guess.
right. Yeah, put in the time and work.
Yeah. And then like he is working for other indie game devs or some small indie game company or something like that anyway, you know?
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. So, and I'm like that, I do my research, I look and I like overcame my own traumas, my own issues, and I'm like building upon myself to become a better person, and that's a result of self therapy, and like that's something that I can give to other people as well.
Right. Yep, for sure.
Yeah, but unfortunately, people think that school's everything kind of thing, right?
Well, right. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
how they've been trained,
right,
mentally.
exactly. And they can't see it any other way, which is again fair. That's fair because
Mm.
like I had to go through hardships to get to this point, and they didn't go through those same
Right.
hardships that I went through. So why should I be expecting them to like understand where I'm coming from?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. In any case, though, so yeah, stuff like this. But I mean, you want to get into Blender, and is that something that we should like you're willing to like put more sessions into, like make more sessions for the sake of that?
Maybe. I mean,
I
it
say
would.
like I can just give you these videos, see how you feel or whatever, and try them out yourself, right?
Yeah.
And then like you can see from you can go from there.
No, yeah, that'd be helpful for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, in terms of that, we'll just start with the CG Fast Track, this Blender 4.1, because this was the one that they like recommended, the 3.6 one. But since this is the updated one, then this is obviously the better one, right? But in any
Right.
case,
Right.
yeah. And it is better to be updated because like Blender 4.1 is going to have a lot of different ways about doing things than 3.6. A lot of tools can change. A lot of tools can be taken out in because like some other tools can do a better job than those old tools and whatnot, and those old tools that are in 3.6 that they're giving you a tutorial on is not going to be accurate to the Blender that you're currently using 4.1. And it's like, where is this tool? I don't see it. I don't know what is going on.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess that's something that you can look into on your own time. Or I guess we could look into it together if you really want to. Uh, uh, I guess another thing that you could do is just look into Blender videos yourself, like what can look interesting to you. Because like for example, that free building generator, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
there's plenty of videos like that one to get into that will make things a lot easier to get into, I guess. Maybe. That's a that's a maybe because a lot of these videos will expect you to already know how things works. So maybe at the end of the day you just want to start with this one after all.
Yeah. No, that's a good point.
Yeah. Like I don't know what your situation is, but you know, for me, obviously my productivity skyrockets 100%, 100 times really, when working with someone else, which is why I like to uh, schedule more sessions with you and my indie game dev friend if possible, because it just I just work better that way.
Yeah. No, I get that for sure. 100%. I
Yeah.
seem to work a lot better learn a lot more. Work a lot harder when I'm working with someone.
And then also, you know, it's just more fun, right? And then
True.
like in terms of that and, and one's hobby, right? Like you're getting the fun out of it while also getting all these other benefits of working hard and like working towards something, having a purpose and whatnot. And you're having fun at the same time. It's like I feel like it's a no-brainer to like just have more sessions if that's the case, which is why I push it so much to have more sessions. But I understand if when people are reluctant to do so, because I've been there myself, and so all I can do is really wait for the time to come when one is ready to go through with it. But the way that I see it is like if I'm having fun with it, it's basically like a hobby to me. Like I'm already enjoying my hobbies, and why not just enjoy a job like a hobby?
Right.
And there's
Yeah.
like I don't have to ever feel like I'm working kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So yeah,
No, yeah.
that's just how it goes.
I just need to figure out some stuff like my schedule with
Mm-hmm.
what's changing with work and
Yeah, yeah.
other stuff like that. And once I get more of a set kind of schedule, I'll be able to definitely like commit more time and
Mm-hmm.
whatnot. So that's just why I'm reluctant to commit, to more sessions right now, just because I don't know if I'll be able to uphold my end of the deal and that
Right,
commitment
right. I mean, you
right
already
now.
told me about how you might be changing. schedule with your job on the Monday and Wednesday thing, and like
Yeah. Right.
yeah, I was mostly just wondering what if you'd be into it at the very least, like you're fine, you're fine going forward with it if you could, kind of thing.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
like if I know I could, yeah, definitely, 100%. I'd definitely
Mhm.
like to commit more time.
Yeah, yeah. Because, like, the more time that we can commit to these kinds of things, the faster we can to get to where we want to be in life. Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm all about, for sure.
Exactly, yeah. Because, like, after our sessions earlier in the week, I said that I would be uh, getting into doing the thing that I'm supposed to do, but I ended up not doing it. Well, I have good reasons behind them, but at the end of the day, like I still didn't do it, and like if I didn't do it, that just means that I'm not ready to get to that point yet. I'm not at that point where I can just do things for myself. Um,
Right.
but yeah, so what was it? But like the biggest reason was just because this week was my birthday, and then we ended up like spending a lot of this week doing my birthday things.
Hey man,
Yeah,
that's awesome. Glad
yeah,
you had a good week.
yeah. Thank you. And then after that was just working on the indie game devs, uh, working with the indie game dev on his thing because, as I said before, right, it was like we were just working 1 day a week, and that's nothing, compared to
Yeah.
other game devs. Like we need to put in
Right.
more hours in these things. And so I was like trying to see if I can get him to commit a little bit more. And he did, and that's good. Like the like I just want to at the very least slowly build up working more with others, and then I don't have to like worry about myself not working as a result of that.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, so I worked on the sprite, and I actually just finished it earlier, like literally just at 1 p.m. today.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then again with the blender, right? I worked like I had 2 4 to 5 hour sessions working on this model and whatnot, and it was really fun. And I honestly want to work on it more, which means putting in more hours on it, and it's
Mm,
just for my own self-indulgence of knowing that I did this, and it could be a reference for the future too when I'm drawing.
there you
Uh,
go.
yeah, that was like my main reasoning. It's like I've
Hmm.
always wanted a reference that I could, what is it called? Um, huh. Anyway, I've always wanted a reference that I could um, use that was accurate to the proportions of of this one character, and can see it from all angles, looking up, down, left, right, spinning, whatever, right?
Hmm.
Like I've always wanted that, and now that's a possibility.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
yeah. And then like I might be making more models after that. It's like all this time that I had to commit to it. And that's on top of having to cook for myself, having to go out for my part-time, my little hustle of dog walking, uh,
Oh, yeah.
doing groceries, cleaning my room and stuff, and then like exercising. Yeah.
Hmm.
And I've been neglecting on my cleaning, by the way. Like I'm doing like the bare minimum of like cleaning dishes and shit.
Yeah, man, I've been neglecting cleaning, neglecting the exercise stuff lately. It's like, all right, got to get back into it.
But
Yeah, I
yeah.
don't know. My sleep's been like so off lately.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just like working the late nights at the bars,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and then coming home and just trying to unwind because like it's long nights at the bars, but it's not like it's hard work anymore because it's so slow
Yeah.
because of the management just ruining that business. But anyways, but yeah, it's like I'm not worn out when I get off of work. You know, it's all like all of a sudden like I get a second wind, and it's like 1 in the morning, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, oh, geez, I can't just fall asleep. So like, let's if I'm
Mm.
with my girlfriend, we'll just be talking for hours on end, usually bitching about work.
Mm. Yeah, yeah.
And if I'm alone, then I'm just, finally relaxing and watching a show. And then next thing I know, it's 3, 4 in the morning.
Mm-mm. Yeah,
And then I'm
yeah.
still trying to get up at a decent hour, but
Right, right.
I only do that for so many days. And then there comes like the 2 days where my body needs that 8 hours of sleep. And so then I'm sleeping till 10, 11.
Got it. Right,
Yeah,
right.
half the day is gone. It's just, I got to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
back into that routine of self improvement and have
Right,
my
right.
boundaries set for things and
Mm-hmm.
all that.
Yeah. Like whenever that kind of thing happens, the best way to go about it when it comes to exercise is to just start small, just do 5 minutes, 10 minutes a day, stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And just be okay with that, right?
Yeah. No, yeah. Tonight I'm gonna go help a friend move
Hmm.
some stuff because him and his fiance are moving from one apartment to a townhome now.
Oh, okay.
And right, so yeah, I'm gonna go help them. Probably heading out in like half hour or so.
Wow, that's okay. Yeah, true, true. It is already 5 p.m. on my end, and usually you're gonna be out by then.
Yeah, I mean, I was planning on hitting you up when I woke up and everything and asking you if you wanted to push the meeting back till later because I figured he'd want to do the moving stuff in the early afternoon or something.
Right. But you
But they
didn't.
told me that they're just moving smaller stuff for a while and then they'll need my help with the heavier stuff that they'll get to later.
Mm-hmm.
And so I told him, he's like, "Oh, when do you usually have your meeting?" I'm like, "Oh, usually it starts at like 2 and then we'll go to like 4 or 5 or, whenever we're done." He's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, well, if you can be done by like four, between 4 and 5, like that's probably when we would need your help."
Yeah, yeah. I mean, has he called you up then?
No, I was gonna text him here in about a half hour and see his situation if they're ready for me to come over.
Oh yeah, just do it right now even. Like because
Sure.
uh he does we don't know if he'll be ready or what, like what's going on.
Yeah, yeah, I'll text him right now, see what's going on.
It's always better to be to schedule things ahead rather than
Wait for it to happen or
yeah,
whatnot.
exactly.
Yeah, it's a good point. All right, we'll see what he says back here. Sure, he'll get
Okay.
back to me soon. Unless
Yeah.
he's in the middle of driving to the new place with a truckload of stuff or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so then I'm gonna be doing that. So that'll be a bit of physical activity, I figure, and that'll kind of maybe get me back into the swing of things.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah.
tomorrow, yeah, I just want to start with light workouts and walks again and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Try to keep that up every day.
Yeah, exactly. Uh yeah. In terms of like when you get back and it's like you gotta wind down, but it takes like an hour or two for you to get to sleep, yeah? You said like
Mm-hmm.
that?
Yeah,
And it
yeah.
happens every time, or like a lot of the times at the least, right?
Yeah, yeah, most nights I would say. It's
Mm-hmm.
like most nights when I'm working, just because such a I don't know, not physically draining, just like
Of course, of course.
mentally draining more so. And so then you
Yeah.
get that second win when you have that, oh, freedom, I can get out of this
Right,
building.
exactly. That's right, that's right. Yeah. I know
Like
exactly
other
that
nights when
feeling.
I'm not, yeah, nights when I'm not working, I feel like I fall asleep more naturally because it's like, oh yeah, I've been kind of doing what I want to do. Or, when we're working on our stuff, it's like, okay, that was actually that was mentally draining, but in a sense that where it's like I've accomplished something now, I'm
Yeah,
moving
yeah.
forward, I'm happy with where I'm at, can go to bed.
Right. You've done your mental workout.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of just stare at a wall and pour a beer every now and then.
Right. Okay, so in terms of that, right? Like, okay, and you say that you just like watch some anime or something like that, right?
Yeah, typically.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'm just like thinking what is it that could be done because at the end of the day I go through the same thing and I'm like thinking what is it that I do that was effective that
Mm,
like got me to uh sleep well and a lot of the times so when I try something new there was this thing where I learned it from yoga basically.
mm,
So it's like doing deep breaths and then just clearing your mind. And then I every time I did that in yoga, I ended up falling asleep.
oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. And
Oh, that's
then
funny.
I applied it at home and did it and when I did, it worked. I fell asleep in about maybe 10 to 15 minutes 10 to 15 minutes in of doing exactly what I learned from yoga, but at some point it stopped working, and I think the
Mm,
reason for that was just because I had too much on my mind to
sure.
fall asleep. But you can try that first, see how that goes. But uh, I mean, you've never done yoga, so I guess you can't like imagine what it's like anyway. Because
Right.
by doing it, I experienced it. Therefore, I'm able to imagine what it's like. And when I imagine it, I'm able to recreate that situation, basically.
Mm,
Yeah. So
okay.
by doing that, it's why I accomplished it, because uh, for someone if it were the me that never did yoga, I wouldn't be able to do that because I have no experience and I'm like, what am I supposed to do again? Like I'm
Mm,
supposed to clear my mind, but I don't know how to clear my mind. I can't visualize clearing my mind, which when
right.
you clear your mind, you're not supposed to visualize anything.
Yeah, an oxymoron there, huh?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's an oxymoron. But in any case, though, yeah, clearing one's mind is really hard if you're someone that thinks a lot. It's just, it's like, it's compared to a dumb person, okay? A dumb
Mm,
person can easily clear their minds because they're not thinking about anything. They have no troubles when they think about nothing. And
right.
that's the advantage that they have over people who do think a lot. And it's like, well, these people that are thinking a lot, you know, they have a lot on their minds, and as a result of that, like they can't they end up with depression. They end up with what's it called, insomnia, right?
Right.
And all these people that I've talked to that have insomnia, it was because they had a pretty rough life in the beginning or whatever, like
Mm,
and so they had to like think a lot for themselves and whatnot. And like one example I could think of, there's this one friend that I made in the Kafka Chord, and really smart and everything, and he tells me he has insomnia. I was like, wow, for someone that's like so well put together, I can't even believe that you have insomnia. Like it's just so
right.
hard to see it because he seems so well put together, and like he is well put together. Like he can always hold a good conversation, and it seems like he never gets into any fights or anything. And like I've never seen a fight go on with when he's around, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, but in my case, like I just had a fight earlier, in the artist Discord. Uh,
Right.
like
Mm-hmm.
it's a one-sided fight, I'd say, because I wasn't trying to fight, but
Right.
at the end of the day, I did trigger them, and they did like go off on me. So, you know, it's like I still have improvements to make at the end of the day.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the very least, like compared to this friend of mine, I'm sure that he wouldn't even have ended up in that situation in the first place.
Right.
Yeah. In any case, though, I mean, I will say that we are two different people, and I do have my own battles to go through. Like
Mm.
he's not fighting to be a therapist. I am, you know.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, in terms of okay, what was it that I wanted to talk about with you? Uh, the what video I wanted to show you? I just completely lost it now. We
Oof.
need to
Mm-hmm.
backtrack. What were we? So we talked about Blender. What else did we talk about after that?
We were talking about
Sleeping,
yoga when you
yoga.
yo
That's what I wanted. Yoga video.
yeah.
Okay. So let's see. A yoga for beginners. Yoga session. 22 full body. 10-minute yoga for beginners. Easy morning stretches. Although you want to end the day off. Actually, it doesn't really matter,
Right.
because I mean, when I did yoga, that was in the afternoon, like at like 1 p.m. I believe, maybe noon time, 12.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm streaming right now, right?
Yeah, yep.
Okay, so I'm just like uh skipping through to like see what positions she's going through,
Mm-hmm.
which is this is a regular yoga routine, yeah. But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
relaxing, doing these kinds of stretches, these are relaxing stretches, and by doing relaxing stretches, that, like, obviously you become relaxed, and by being relaxed you can sleep easier.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that makes sense. Adds up.
it's good to have clarity music to go along with it, which is like, I don't know, maybe mountain music or something. Let's look for that. Because from what I'm hearing here, I'm not hearing any music.
Oh, yeah, I'm not hearing anything either, just your clicking.
Oh, no, there's music. There's music. So this is good.
Yeah, light piano, okay.
Yeah, yeah, there you go. Light piano. And then there's like nature music as well.
Mm.
Mountain background. Let's see. Yeah, this is fine too, having music that goes with it.
Mm.
This is very
Yeah,
calming
when
and
you were
everything.
telling me about how you cleared your mind and like you fell asleep
Yeah,
with like in class or whatever, like in the yoga class.
right, right.
That reminded me of just recently I had a like my girlfriend got me like a massage for my birthday. And
Mm,
so they had me like before I entered the room or whatever, like choose like what kind of music I was gonna want during it. And I chose like a mountain background music and whatnot. And it was very calming and relaxing. And I swear I fell asleep like 2 or 3 times during it because like you're just listening to the music and like, there's someone that's just like massaging your body. Like at the time she was giving me a scalp massage.
I
And so
see.
that really like just kind of like cleared my mind so much that all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, did I fall asleep?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yes.
Like I remember like I opened my eyes because I had my eyes closed the whole time, pretty much tried to because, it'd be weird to make eye contact with someone while they're massaging you,
Right, right, of
you know?
course.
But all of a sudden I would kind of like, I wouldn't even know if the masseuse was still there, and I'd like open my eyes and she was like right above me, like giving me a scalp massage. So I was like, oh yeah, no, she's still there. Okay. Like let's try not to fall asleep. And then I'd just be like, all right, just clear your mind and snoozing again in like seconds. I was like, oh, geez.
Yeah, exactly,
But
exactly.
definitely the music was a big thing because, yeah, I would just focus on the music and nothing else. And my mind would slowly like clear everything, every thought out, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, and so you have some kind of experience with relaxation and whatnot. That's good. Yeah. So this 10-minute yoga session is also good too. Like my yoga sessions lasted for about an hour, I believe. But this is a good start. I like the exercises because these are some of the exercises that we do in that yoga class. And by the way, in the yoga class, like it was mostly women. Like maybe there was
Mm,
one other guy sometimes.
right, right.
Yeah. But yeah, so and they were like mostly middle aged too. But at the end of the day, uh, I would recommend yoga to everybody. It's not just for those people. It's literally anybody should do it for every or without even a reason. I wouldn't even like you don't even need a reason to do yoga. That's how much I I advocate for it. Yeah. Finally using big words. uh, yeah. Yeah, now that you like told me this and like I'm going through the research and stuff, maybe I'll try implementing this now whenever I can't sleep. And there you
Hmm.
go, you know?
Yeah, no, that's seems like a good idea. I mean,
Yeah.
instead of watching, exciting anime shows that are going to force me to, want
Stay
to
up, right?
see the next episode, yeah, just calming music, some stretches.
Yep, yep, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So I gave you
Nice.
those two things and like, you're like wait, so
Perfect.
did you have work last night?
Yeah, I was working last night until 2 in the morning, and then I went hung out with my girlfriend at her place for like an hour and a half, and then got home at 4, and then went to bed at 5. Freaking long ass night.
Yeah.
Pretty much as soon as I started hearing birds chirping, I was like, all right, just enough with this unwinding, just going to bed.
uh, and then like so when did you wake up then?
11:30
Okay,
probably.
I see. Yeah, it's not too bad at least. Because at
Right.
least you were able to wake up early enough that you got some stuff done before the meeting, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I had like breakfast and whatnot and hung out with the kitty cat for a little bit.
Nice, nice. Okay then. Well, there you go. And now you have another issue on GitHub. You work on sleeping early. Don't
There
watch
we go.
anime. Do yoga with this 6-hour mountain music.
Right. Oh, jeez.
GitHub issue.
The GitHub issues, yeah. Oh, that's great.
Oh my god. Uh, yeah. I'm gonna do the same, yeah, because I mean, okay, I don't really need it because personally, like every day has been fulfilling. I would work as much as I possibly can. That's within my mental limit anyway, and so I haven't needed this kind of thing. But like if I was working a real job or whatever and having trouble sleeping, definitely I would try this now that we've had this talk. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No,
yeah,
I'm
it's
definitely
like
going to just try utilizing this.
yeah. So it's exactly this, right? It's like I never would have thought of it if I didn't talk to you about it. Like we were just like shooting the breeze about things and like talking about our troubles and whatnot. And then I come up with this idea, you know?
Yeah, right.
This is what I love about these sessions. Just hanging two people that will look to be productive and whatnot. And it's just ideas flourish and solutions come along, and like proven methods. We talk about proven methods and whatnot, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I feel like we always figure out a lot of stuff together that for some reason we can't just figure out on our own.
Yeah, yeah. And that's because, like, figuring out on our own, we're not talking out loud for one thing. And then it's like, when we're in our own minds, we're not thinking about fun stuff. We don't feel like we're having fun when we're thinking
Mm,
about some solution, right? So, like, all these things always factor in. Having fun and having a good time and wanting to be productive and whatnot. It all comes together. And like when we're like by ourselves, we're just gonna end up getting burnt out because
hmm.
we can't like keep up the fun by ourselves.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a great point.
yeah. Which is why I end up relying on like, for example, making this NSFW blender model, right?
Hmm.
Like making NSFW stuff gives me motivation. I get excited, ecstasy, and all that, and
Hmm.
that's my motivation to work. And like, like look at all that progress that I made because of it, right?
Right.
Like when I make a point to use my porn addiction as a tool, as a means to be productive, that's better than nothing. It's better than me always doing nothing and like I used to be so elitist thinking, oh, I gotta keep off of these things so that I can work, and then like I just end up not working. And it's like,
Right. Yeah.
am I really better off? At the end of the day, like
Hmm.
nobody's going to help me. I don't have someone like you around. And so what am I supposed to do? You know?
Hmm.
I can't do anything to get myself off the ground, so I need something else to get me off the ground, and that's where that NSFW stuff comes in. So, and not only that,
Right.
I did like get to know some people, and I don't like get deterred from meeting these kinds of people, degenerate people, and I get to like uh, meet like productive people as long as I want to be productive too.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And that is, by the way, how I got some of these like shortcut, like when I talk about shortcut talks and stuff, like with the
Mm.
building generation, it was
Oh, sure.
from like a degenerate person or whatever, right? It's like, or a
Right.
degenerate community. Like
Mm.
they had nothing else to work with. They don't have a proper education, so they had to rely on these other factors to get themselves to do something.
Right.
And
Interesting.
yeah, they don't have the best situation, and they had to make the most out of the situation that they got. And it's like, how did they make the most out of it? Well, looking at porn and stuff makes me feel good. So, and like with art, it makes me want to art. That's two things that go together. So I should like
Boom.
put it together, I guess, like, because
Right.
nothing else is gonna get me going.
There you go. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's just taking in a sense taking a negative and turning it into a positive kind of thing, something that you saw as a negative is now more so like a motivation,
Yeah, yeah,
a motivate.
exactly.
And if it's bringing you, forward progress, then yeah, then it's a positive now.
Yes, yes, exactly. Like the world isn't black and white. The world isn't even gray actually. Like the world is only as colorful as you wish to see it.
There you go. Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that. That's beautiful sentiment. Hmm.
Yeah, thanks. And I see the world in like pink, uh
Thanks.
peach, uh
There you go.
you get what I say.
Yeah.
Uh, what a colorful world.
What a colorful world. I love it.
Oh man. In any case though, obviously I'm not actually like that. It's just a part of me that I rejected for a while. And so it's like it's a part of the color spectrum that I can like put there, but I definitely have more to me than that, of course. as you would
Right,
know.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
And like even if people would put me down, thinking that I only amount to this much, I know my worth. I know how well I can actually do it. And I know my weaknesses and strengths. So I just had to work towards those things. Yeah.
Yeah, right before I got on with you,
Yeah.
I was watching this little video, like a 30-second clip. Some motivational speaker was talking, and he was talking about uh, the last like scenes of the movie 8 Mile, the Eminem movie.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of just goes on about how like Eminem wins that rap battle because he basically takes away the quote unquote ammunition from the other rapper by pointing out his own flaws and whatnot. He takes away the flaws from the other person by pointing them out himself. And the guy goes on about how people have so many more strengths than they do flaws, but they spend too much time trying to defend their flaws instead of go on the offense with their strengths.
Right,
And so if
right.
we all just focus on our strengths and focus on emitting those out into the worlds and not worry too much about defending your little flaws that everyone has around you.
Yeah.
Because once you start focusing on your flaws and whatnot, then you get that negative like outlook on yourself and on the world and this and that. But by focusing on your strength, you're going to be able to, move forward in life and whatnot with a more of a positive attitude, positive, aura around you and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And yeah,
exactly.
that's kind of what I'm getting from what you're saying right now. Like you had, talked about like you do have flaws and this and that, but just focus on your strengths and your strengths, and then yeah,
Yeah,
that'll
yeah.
push you forward.
Right, right. Well, I mean, uh, to be exact though, is that I also know my flaws, and I know to how to work around them as well. So it's not just the strength; it's also understanding your flaws and how to work around them.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, once you have an understanding of your flaws, yeah, then you'll have an understanding of exactly like you're saying, working around them, working with them.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Around them, with them, exactly like that. Yeah.
Hmm.
It's people. It's hard for people to move forward because they can't accept their own flaws.
Hmm. Right.
That's all it is at the end of the day. And why they can't accept it is because of, well, being in a situation where their flaws were pointed out so harshly to them that they can only see it the way that the other people have pointed out to them, you know, like with
Hmm.
family or bullying or whatever, right? It's like,
Yeah.
but
No, yeah, like insecurity and stuff like that. Yeah, that's definitely a huge halt in one's own progress and whatnot.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Dude, like, all this talk and stuff, right? I mean, okay, I have this document where I just like make up quotes and shit or whatever, but after this talk, I love the hermit crab one,
Oh
and
yeah.
now the M&M one.
Yeah.
Do you happen to know if it had a video or whatever, right?
Geez, I think I might have liked it. I can hold on, let me go back to it. Was on Facebook.
So he won because he pointed out his own flaws first before going in. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I mean he took away the ammunition from
Right,
others
right.
around
It's
him
like,
by pointing out his own flaws before they could ridicule him with them.
right, right. It's like, I know I'm a bad father, blah, 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 like that kind of thing, right?
Yeah, that kind of thing. Like,
Uh,
because if you've ever seen 8 Mile, he says like he's a white guy who's rapping in Detroit, where it's predominantly a black community,
mm-hmm.
and so that was one of the biggest flaws that was always pointed out to the crowd because you do these rap battles in front of a crowd. But he was
Mm-hmm.
saying like, "You're right, I am white. I do live in a trailer." Da
Oh,
da
yeah,
da
there you
da.
go.
Going on about all this stuff that they would try to make fun of him.
Yeah, yeah. Nice, nice.
Oh man, I can't believe it. I don't have that on here. Did I? Save it. Son of a bitch. No, I must. Now it's just kind of lost in Facebook.
It's okay. You gave me enough information as is. That's a good enough information.
Okay.
God, I love the hermit crab.
Right. No. Yeah. That little analogy always sticks with me. That comparison.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if I'm feeling like uncomfortable and I'm just like, okay, maybe instead of looking at this as a obstacle, look at it as a opportunity to learn.
Yeah, yeah. Exactly that. Like I wish I had that going in my life kind of thing.
Mm,
It's so simple, it's so cute. I love it. That's why I like it so much.
nice. Happy to share it.
Yeah. In any case though, so what has your friend said?
Yeah. He just got back to me a minute ago. I was about to read it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Yeah, it sounds like they're getting ready to head over to their apartment. He's just finishing organizing the comics and graphic novels. He just moved over.
Was this your
Then he's gonna.
comic friend that was like getting you to make a comic with them?
No,
Okay.
no, this is a different friend. I actually worked on like an outline for like the world of a story that we were gonna write together.
Mm-hmm.
But then what even happened? Well, that was right before the lockdown and COVID and everything.
Oh, okay. So that's how long ago it's been, huh?
Yeah, like we were working on this back in 2019, like winter of 2019, and then all of a sudden 2020 hit and the world, locked down.
Hmm.
And then when we came back to it, like because we both worked at the same place. He also worked at the bowling alley when I first started.
Right, right.
He was on the bowling side of it, and I was on the food and beverage side of it.
Hmm.
But we'd get done at the same time, and his mom was a bartender there, and so she would usually come in and relieve me from my shift. And
Mm-hmm.
then me and him would have a couple drinks, and we got to know each other, and we found out we're both nerds, and he would borrow me graphic novels to read, and then we started working on our own story for a long time. But though that might have died, we still have a flourishing friendship. And now him and this girl that I pushed him to ask out on a date, they're engaged and everything just recently.
Nice.
So yeah, he's a real good buddy of mine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just couldn't do the work with them though.
Yeah, no, right. I mean, he ended up once he left Bogart's, the bowling alley I work at. Once he left that place and got a different job, it's kind of like we didn't have that same like schedule anymore, so we didn't have that time to kind of continue working on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also started working a lot more night shifts instead of the day shift. And so yeah, just scheduling conflicts, and then we'll still bring it up every now and then. We're
Oh.
trying to go for a story that was based in like the old west kind of timing, setting,
Uh-huh.
like with sheriffs and bounty hunters and deserty towns, tumbleweeds rolling around. But then the thing was that made it like, I don't know, more comic booky, graphic novel-y was everyone there was gonna have like elemental, like alchemic powers and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we I don't know, I'm always good at building the world, but when it came down to doing the actual writing, we just couldn't get to that point ever. We couldn't agree on a couple things here and there, and then we're just like, oh, well, whatever. Time
Uh,
kind of just killed the project in the end.
yeah, yeah. That makes sense. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
But like, so he was gonna be the artist for it, huh?
Yeah, he was gonna be an artist for it, and then he was gonna help me just kind of decide on, a couple things with story building, world building more so. Then
Hmm.
I was gonna be the writer. And yeah, it just kind of came down to it where we never even got to the point where we were building the actual narrative or thinking of the character art.
Yeah.
Like I think the most he had drawn for it was just like a basic world map. So, because
Mm-hmm.
we were trying to think of like different regions that were going on in this world. Like, in the end, I think our ideas were just getting way too big. We just kept
Mm-hmm.
expanding the world, and had to keep defining certain aspects and this and that, and then we'd expand more and have to redefine. It was just
Mm.
like we just needed to settle on something, you know. But
Right.
we were
Yeah.
just a bunch of guys in a bar drinking beer and talking about crazy stories, you know.
Right. Right. Yeah. Like, yeah, at the end of the day, you need a proper process to go about doing things. And
Hmm.
you talking about that just made me think about how, like, well, one thing is templates, template characters is always a good place to start. And then it's also just like getting inspiration from certain characters. Like, you can always make a character like Luffy. Like, why not, right? You
Yeah.
just
Hmm.
just base your inspirations off of that. It's like you study Luffy and like what is it that he does and whatnot, and it's fine.
Sure.
That's that kind of thing is fine to just copy the essence of another character because at the end of the day, it's better than nothing, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we were drawing inspiration from. We were both really into the anime Black Clover at the time,
Oh, okay.
so we were kind of going for, I don't know, not similar power. I don't know. It was kind of, we were both into Black Clover a lot, so I don't know if
Yeah.
that really, if we drew a lot of inspiration from it, like character wise. But I guess in a setting wise, we were trying to make like our story was going to start in a smaller setting and expand into a bigger world where it would be more of like a kingdom kind of thing, you know, like they had in Black Clover.
Mm-hmm.
But then we also really into the graphic novel for the Preacher series,
Oh.
which is kind of like angels and demons fighting on Earth, and there's a preacher that has the spirit of a Nephilim in him or something, or they were hunting for a Nephilim, which is the offspring of a demon and an angel. At
Okay.
least in that series, I think the biblical sense is a demon and a human, or an angel and a human, one of
Mm.
those. But yeah, no. So there's a lot of different inspirations from different kind of aspects, you know, magic, and then also the demon and the angel kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, unlike our project, which has no clear inspiration behind it, that one actually has something to go off of,
True.
to like build upon it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, working with you and with others, of course, it made me realize that it's like, that's what makes this so hard to continue with. But at the same time, I mean, it wasn't my idea, it was someone else's idea, so they had a better idea about how to go about it. But at the same time, I mean, he's just an idea guy at the end of the day. That's what it was. Uh, like, as an idea guy, that means that they wouldn't be able to produce more than just the idea itself. But whether that's because of his um, capabilities or he's just holding himself back, I'm sure that it was because he was holding himself back though. Because the thing is that the reason he quit was because he didn't want to take away time from spending with his family.
Mm.
So yeah, like he was like, "Oh, I gotta like, uh, I gotta like keep up with you guys," but then after just 3 days, he's like, "Oh, you know what? I'm out of this project."
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Meh.
like he was finding himself struggling too much with spending too much time thinking. I'm guessing is what happened.
Oh yeah, I guess.
But at the end of the day, that is what it means to be a writer.
True. Yeah. constantly thinking.
Yeah. And then like, but the thing was that he spent too much of it thinking by himself than
Right.
thinking it with others. And that's like I did tell him, like talk to people, to like let's talk to the other writers and like you know get to know them and bounce ideas off of them and stuff, right?
Hmm.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
it can be a rough road going it alone.
he wasn't alone though. That's the thing. He was with Lindsay, and I was
Oh,
also supporting him behind the scenes too.
right.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it didn't work out because he just didn't want to spend that much time on it.
Right. Yeah, you do have to be able to, you have to have the means to commit that time and whatnot. And if you can't, then yeah,
Yeah.
then it is what it is.
Yep. Yep. But everybody, if you want your dreams to come true, you have to put in more time than you're comfortable with, I guess.
Hmm.
And I constantly still try even to this day, of course. It's just uh, I have no other good answer than working with someone else.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, uh, even with that, well, okay. Uh, it's not fair to say that I worked on that Blender thing by myself for 4 hours. I was working alongside the other artist that introduced me to it. But yeah, what was funny about
Mm.
it was that
Yeah.
the dude he would spend all of his time on like League of Legends and never want to draw and whatnot. And then he when he came across Blender and started working, I was complimenting him and like, "Oh, you're so good" and stuff like that. And then, wow, can I learn too? I wanna like try learning beside you. And then like when he did teach me, after that, he he was on a roll himself. He was working like 12 hours or something. I was like, what the? This guy's going crazy. He's going ham. And like he never even like did that during any of the time I've been here. Okay. Like before that, he'd go for like about an hour or two at best. And then at his worst, he's like working for like maybe 10 minutes and he's gone.
Jeez.
Yeah, like, but yeah, so it just goes to show, like, if, I think that I did affect him, right? Is what it comes down to. And the result is right there, anyway, with the numbers. It's a numbers game. Yeah. Numbers, they do not lie. I mean, at the end of the day, they do help paint a clear picture.
That's true. Yeah. The numbers never lie.
Yeah. So I will confidently say that me being there and doing and like working alongside him on the blender sculpting helped motivate him. Hmm.
Right.
Yeah,
There you
yeah,
go.
like he did quite a bit. And like the 12-hour session was that he was doing uh Blender and then he would switch over to his artwork and then like yeah, he just like do both. It's like if he's tired of Blender then he'll do his artwork and then when he's tired of doing his artwork he'll go back to Blender.
Oh, nice. Yeah, kind of balancing it off, offsetting the burnout with a new activity.
Right, right, exactly, yeah. But I mean, that kind of thing doesn't last long though. Especially
Yeah.
for his diligence. From what I've told you before, right? He would last at most like 1 to 2 hours, and when you have that kind of history, uh, the results afterwards will be will be what is it called? It's you can predict the future kind of thing. Yeah, it's like
Mm,
he's able to go this long is because it's so new, and so it's fun, and he's having a lot of fun. But once that honeymoon phase is over, it's he'll end up going back. So yeah,
right. Yeah.
need something to keep him back on or whatever. Which I think that like if people were to like hire people for jobs like this, like when they're like on that grind and whatnot, the momentum, keeping up the momentum is the most important thing about keeping someone working. Uh, and like usually what like why jobs are able to keep up some kind of momentum is because of getting paid, you know. It's like that's their
Yeah.
reasoning, even if the job is shit or whatever, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how it is. Oh, so like when you gotta go.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to probably head out of here pretty soon.
All right then. So that's that then.
All
Wait,
right.
was I streaming? I was streaming the screen one, right? I was streaming like you were seeing my YouTube and everything.
Yeah, the YouTube.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good, good. Okay. Oh, whoops.
Uh,
Sorry about that.
It's like, oh,
I thought I
okay, I
was
guess you're
ending stream,
done.
but instead I ended up ending the call.
I was like, all
Whoops.
right, I guess Victor's done with me for the day.
Oh man. In any case, so yeah, I mean, so what's the plan for tomorrow then? I guess we just do go back to, on the schedule, right?
Yeah, I think I should be fine with working or going, our normal time, and
Okay.
then just going through those GitHub issues.
Yep, yep. The GitHub issues. So, when's your next work day anyway?
Next work day is Tuesday. I'm
Okay.
at the other bar I work at.
Okay,
Tuesday
okay.
evening, and then I don't work again until Friday and Saturday.
Okay, okay. I see. Shit. Oh well. Anyway, it's like same time kind of thing, right? Like you work the evening until 1 a.m. or something like that.
For Tuesday, the bar closes a little earlier, so I'm only there till the bar's open till 11. So usually I'm out of there by 11:30 ish.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So there you go.
So yeah,
Um,
then
will you be able to sleep earlier though? Is the question.
well with Wednesday I have to wake up earlier for my Oh well, you're saying if I'll be able to fall asleep earlier?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, no, I should be able to fall asleep pretty easily.
yeah. Because this
Usually,
is
if I
a
like on the weekdays, like if I have one of those shifts and I'm out of there by 11:30 or so, I'm probably sleeping by like 1:30, which
mm-hmm.
is totally fine because then I can get my 6 to 7 hours of sleep and wake up at a normal time.
Mm-hmm. Right. And then you said that you have something in the morning as well.
Yeah, yeah, that's just Wednesday therapy for me.
Uh, uh,
And then with me having to take care of the lawn around the house lately, that's usually when right after therapy, I'll go and mow and whatnot and probably be done with that all by like noon. And I was
mhm.
thinking maybe if you wanted to meet up earlier on Wednesday, because I think Wednesday evening, me and my girlfriend were going to go hang out with a couple friends.
Oh, okay. Sure.
So yeah, if you wanted to meet up like at 1 or 2 and we could, go until, I don't know, probably 5 ish at the latest for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fine then. So we'll do that.
Sweet. Sounds good.
All right then. So that's the plan. So Monday is usual time, and Wednesday is gonna be 2 to 5 for you. So that means 3 p.m. For me is the starting time.
Okay.
All right
Sweet.
then. So I'll see you then tomorrow.
All right, man. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.
Blink. All right then. Well, Ah, so that's that. Now there was no Renpy learning at all, huh? I thought that there'd be some Renpy learning, but apparently not. Anyway, off I go.